County, where I sneaked in over the weekend to see an integrated farm of fishing and agriculture. I was very pleased on what I saw, and I think that is very, very useful lesson I can learn and take back home. And equally everywhere else, there are lessons. And I think we should move towards that direction in learning. In Laikipia, for the Big Four, the socioeconomic study that gets before you register for insurance is so critical for counties to plan so many activities around the different target households. And finally, I want to applaud the partnerships we've had with the development partners, particularly in moving forward a lot of our agenda. And I want to applaud UNHCR. For we began 2 years ago an integrated, Kalobeye integrated host community refugees program. And that program has worked very, very well. And we're hoping that significant funding is going to be coming to that area of Kakuma Lokichogio so that we can resolve those old perennial problems we've had between refugees and host communities. So I want to thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir. If you'll allow me, I'll give the governors 1 minute each because of one of the big fours that they were supposed to touch all of them on the area of manufacturing, which touches on our youth and preparedness for Vision 2030. And I'll give them only 1 minute each because that was supposed to be shared agenda. Governor Mutua.
Asante sana, Madam Chair, Your Excellency, all protocols. Well, now, for us to be able to really develop and move this country to the next level, industrialization is key. So manufacturing is essential. Bringing in investors to this country is critical, but investors have to feel comfortable putting their money in Kenya. In Machakos, we are lucky because of Mavoko and others. I have brought in, or we've got interested about 36 companies that have built up factories and all that. But that's only one place. We need to take these factories across the country if manufacturing is going to succeed. Unemployment is not only in the big cities, it is out there in the villages. Our young men and women wamechanganyikiwa na maisha. When I was growing up, there was this show by, we were told, ukisoma, ukimaliza shule, utapata kazi nzuri sana. Siku hizi hamna kazi. So manufacturing is critical. And as I said a while back, being from Maendeleo Chapchap, we're organizing a bill to go to Parliament to say or to enact such that the national government puts money, about 250 million per constituency, to put up a factory. So that we are spending about 72.5 billion so that every constituency in this country can have a factory. When you put up a factory in the villages, our young people get employment, and that's how you grow the country, by actually putting money. And I think 72.5 billion is not much money over 2 years to put up factories where they matter the most.
Thank you, Governor. The next governor is Governor from Nyeri, Governor Mutahi Kahiga.
Chair.
1 minute.
Thank you, Chair. Your Excellency, all protocols observed. It is time for both county and national governments to be able to level the field and to make the establishment of manufacturing industries accessible. I have a case in Nyeri County where we are bringing in an investor who is coming to put up a smart city. As a county, we waived off all charges of about 5.5 million. That man cannot move today because Treasury is still demanding advanced taxes. I think if we must address and make sure that it is easy and we ease the startup of those factories, that we are able to address the unemployment problem within the counties and nationally. So my plea would be that both national and county governments must be prepared to forego those maybe taxes, or just generally make it easy for an investor to come in. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Senator Kuti Mohammed from Isiolo. 1 minute. Governor.
Don't worry.
1,000 apologies again.
Don't worry, I'm a senator too.
Governor, you was a senator before. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to appreciate the fact that, in fact, cottage industries, as much as we are thinking about big factories, which is very good for job creation, we need to separate these two and think of them both together. We need to create spaces or what do you call this? I don't know, I've forgotten the name. The parks, industrial parks for big companies in the counties. That's one. Number two, but the more important thing is the cottage industries to create jobs for our youth and women, and that is the focus we need to give. In Isiolo, and I would like to be very grateful to the partners, the donors, USAID and the others, because we now have camel milk yogurt in Isiolo, and we have it here at the show, at the stalls. I would like Your Excellency, as you pass by, to have a taste of camel yogurt. We have also packaged nyiri nyiri, which is the meat of camel which has been cut into small. Now we sterilize it. We have now gotten KEBS certification, and the nyiri nyiri you will eat there is KEBS certified. I would also like you to taste nyiri nyiri and down it with some camel yogurt as you pass.
Thank you.
So these are the things that I think we need to advance. We have a lot of livestock. We need cottage industry to make shoes. Why should we have shoes coming, second-hand shoes coming to flood our market when our livestock, those shoes are coming back to us from our livestock here? We need to have cottage industries to make those shoes here so that we are able to walk with shoes that are made in Isiolo, in Wajir, in other livestock centers.
Thank you, Governor. Next is Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o from Kisumu.
Thank you very much. I really think that we shouldn't look at manufacturing as in terms of big investors coming from somewhere and putting things here. Yes, that is important. But manufacturing must begin, as Governor Kuti says, with cottage industries, where our people are starting from. Therefore, I think strengthening business innovation and incubation centers is really important. Secondly, something that we need to tackle very openly and sincerely, what is the cost of doing business in Kenya? If Kenya Power and Lighting is charging you an arm and a leg to get power, are you going to invest in Kenya, whether you are in a cottage industry, innovation center, and so on? The cost of power will inhibit industrialization and the growth of innovation in business. Then something that we touched on yesterday, and I think it is important to think about it, is wages. Now, wages are not just in terms of salaries. Wages are also in terms of what you buy when you have money that you need. An example is healthcare. The private sector charges an arm and a leg for healthcare. You only need to fall sick in Aga Khan or MP Shah and so on, and you are getting taken to the intensive care unit. Even when you die, the body is held there to pay. This is very inhuman, by the way. So I think when we talk about cost of doing business, we must think of people coming to invest, but they also think, in the event that I am sick, what are the costs of falling sick in Kenya, especially when I want health care from the private sector? I think these are some of the things I think we should discuss very honestly, Senator, and not think of manufacturing industrialization just in terms of some big investors coming from somewhere and investing in Concert City. Yeah, those are necessary, but a bigger issue is down here. How do we create employment and wealth among our people?
Thank you, Governor. Governor Josephat Nanok, Turkana. 1 minute.
Thank you. On top of what my colleagues have said, the biggest mover of industrialization is infrastructure. But it's not only infrastructure alone. Counties plus national government, the relevant ministries should add value to that infrastructure. For instance, for those who are along the Lapset corridor, this is a time we begin planning our urban centers, spatial planning our urban centers in preparation to put value to that infrastructure. And I think if we do it everywhere where the national government is putting large infrastructure, then the benefits, payback benefits of that infrastructure is going to be faster. Because the problem with ourselves is that we wait until the infrastructure is put, is when we are thinking what activity to do along that infrastructure. And at that time, we have wasted time. And I think planning should be able to plan ahead of the things that we are putting in place so that that value is derived immediately, the infrastructure is put into use.
Thank you, Governor Francis Kimemia.
Thank you very much.
1 minute.
Madam Chair, Your Excellency. I think the issue of also devolving or bringing down the special economic zones into the counties, including the industrial parks, also looking at our tariffs, the way we are charging things, inter-county tariffs, maybe as we look at the cost of doing business. These are things that we need to look at. We also need to work with the national government to help us look at the market and start from productivity, especially in agriculture, from the markets, both local and international, and then coming down to the counties. And we have appreciated Your Excellency for the 4-pillar machinani, which Matiang brought to Nyandarua and other counties, that we now domesticate these 4 pillars and we start creating jobs along the 4 pillars. Agro-processing will be very important for those of us in agriculture or in livestock. Agro-processing will be very, very critical, but also making sure that we create opportunities for the young people and then bringing in technology, bringing in innovation and mechanizing agriculture. I think the era of seeing young people carrying a djembe could be long gone. But if you bring in these more machines that the youth can work with in the farms, this we have seen working very well. We have young people now getting small machines and they're able to do things. They're able to package milk, yogurt, and so on. Creating wool. With wool, they're able to make very good woolen products. This is the way to go, Your Excellency, coming up with micro industries, small cottages, and seeing what they can do. When the big industries come, then what are these cluster industries where the young people can all get into business together with our counties. So we would like to see the young people now producing animal feeds. After the potatoes are processed, young people are able to look at opportunities and making business, and women. And of course, we talked about also the disadvantage, the PWDs. And in the environment also, what is very important is the young people seem to be playing the bigger role, forming groups, the tree groups, tree planting groups, bamboo groups to plant bamboo to recover the ecosystems that are getting destroyed, because we cannot leave the environment behind. And they are making money. As a governor, I'm making 2 million trees in a year, and this is youth-driven. So you find many clusters of young people being able to earn a living from those trees that will be buying from the young people and from other organized groups in the counties. So I think the cottage industry route will be the route to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Finally, CS Cicely, I'll ask you a question. What challenge would you like to give the counties as far as manufacturing in the health sector is concerned?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'll respond, but as I do respond, let me reflect on what it is that we have agreed, that indeed UHC is working, and UHC is working because of the collaboration that has been deep that we have seen. And for UHC to be sustained, and I would leave the current leadership, we have to work on an institutional and legal framework that then is going to anchor UHC in our laws. Coming back to manufacturing is the question of equity has a direct bearing on investing in health. Because unless we are able to have an empowered, say, family at that level, it will be difficult for them then to focus on matters nutrition, which have a direct bearing on health and the well-being of families. Unless we are also able to equip and empower the population, it will also be difficult for them to be in a decent environment and mind matter sanitation, again, around the public health sector, again, has a direct bearing on longevity and health for our population. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, private sector, is there any hope in manufacturing anything? health in this country.
Thank you very much, Your
Anytime soon.
Excellency, Madam Chair. The largest public-private partnership in healthcare is in pharmaceuticals. Why? Because 100% of the pharmaceuticals are imported, manufactured, or procured from private sector. 100%. And when we look at the cost differentiation, more than 40% of all healthcare costs are pharmaceutical related. So that means if we're going to reduce the cost of healthcare and make healthcare more affordable, if there's one element we need to touch, is the pharmaceuticals. And I would like to echo Professor Nyang' Nyong'o's words. If we can enable even the local manufacturers to manufacture more to be able to reduce the costs. The days when we used to perceive that local is of poor or substandard quality are long gone. 2 weeks ago, there was a study that showed on amoxicillin, all the amoxicillin that was in the study from local manufacturers was of good quality, yet what was imported, about 20-40%, was of substandard quality. So let's create an enabling environment, make cost of manufacturing more affordable so that we can be able to have local manufacturers being able to supply, and that would be one of the ways to achieve UHC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable participants, please join me in appreciating our panel. I think this has been a great panel this morning. Thank you very much, and please, you are free to go and take your seats. And with that, I would like to invite our MC from now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Sessions Chair and all the panelists. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, and all stakeholders in the devolution process. With your permission, sir, I will now invite our host, the Governor, Kirinyaga County, Governor Anne Waiguru, to make some brief welcoming remarks to welcome us officially to Kirinyaga County. Governor, karibu.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defense Forces, Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, colleague governors, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. This year's Devolution Conference marks an important milestone in the course of our national journey in devolved governance. The concept of annual devolution conferences was largely informed by the need to strengthen county governments in order to be able to fully realize the implementation of devolution. I am very personally gratified to witness what we have achieved together as a nation since devolution began 6 years ago. As the first Cabinet Secretary for Devolution and Planning, I recall the many challenges we faced in implementing a model of governance that was new to us. In spite of these challenges, it is evident from this gathering that there are very many successes. Today, devolved governance is strengthened by mature institutions such as the Council of Governors, the Senate, and County Assemblies Forum, with the support of national government through the Ministry of Devolution, Arid and Semi-Arid Lands. For this reason, I applaud the leadership and commitment that these institutions have demonstrated over the past 6 years in the championing devolution on behalf of the people of Kenya. 6 years later, county governments are not exempt from the very challenges that brought together all stakeholders into a common gathering where knowledge, ideas, experiences could be shared with a view to improving the lives of every Kenyan. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, apart from taking stock of devolution gains, the 6th Annual Devolution Conference promises more intentional citizens' involvement in the conference program. Plenary sessions will not only feature high-level discussions by dignitaries. Citizen delegates will also have an opportunity to share their first-hand accounts of what impact devolution has tangibly had on their daily lives. From this form of public participation within the plenary sessions of the Devolution Conference presents a good snapshot opportunity for feedback that stakeholders can use to independently assess and verify how effective devolution is on the ground. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, reaffirming the theme, deliver, measure, transform, and remaining accountable, we must allow this conference to allow us to listen and pay closer attention to what Kenyans are saying. We celebrate devolution because it bridges the divide between the government and its people. However, we must also recognize that devolution demands closer scrutiny of governments. We can no longer afford to be indifferent to corruption or the denial of justice to the victims of the vice. Service delivery is essential in many parts of the country, and the success of this is evident. 6 years on, we must move beyond delivery and challenge ourselves to realize true transformation for every Kenyan. We must measure our impacts, evaluate our successes, and embrace our challenges in a bid to grow our national wealth and prosperity as a people. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kirinyaga County has a lot to celebrate under devolution. As one of the 5 smallest counties in Kenya by land size, it is a great privilege to represent the Central Kenya region as the host county of the 6th Annual Devolution Conference. Our vision as a county of government is to ensure every resident of Kirinyaga is empowered to achieve their fullest potential in an environment of dignity. Towards this end, we have completely aligned our county development blueprint to the Big Four agenda as follows. In universal healthcare, we consider health as one of the sectors that best illustrates how effective devolution can be. As a county government, we undertook to study the real cost of health on households in Kirinyaga, given that NHIF premiums of 6,000 per household annually were beyond the financial reach of most of our people. We determined that a premium of 1,500 per household, we can provide basic health care to our residents without any additional costs. And this we benchmarked with Makueni and Kitui. As a result of this, we shall soon be rolling out KiriCare, a health insurance cover that allows every household in Kirinyaga to access affordable primary health care services. In trade and manufacturing, we have prioritized the expansion of our local markets so that our farmers have more opportunities to sell their produce and traders can earn better incomes from their business. In our first year, we built 5 markets, and by June this year, we will have an additional 3 markets completed. Therefore, in less than 2 years, we will have 8 new markets completed across Kirinyaga. Under manufacturing, we have recently welcomed into office our first board of Kirinyaga Investment Development Authority that will be tasked with spearheading investor engagements with numerous trade and investment opportunities within the county. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to commend you on the ambitious target to grow Kenya's GDP in manufacturing from 9% to 20% by 2022. Kirinyaga County is a committed contributor to this target. We have secured investor engagements to put up a tomato processing factory and a rice wine sake factory right here in Kirinyaga. We have also secured financial support from the UK aid to set up a factory that converts rice waste, which is rice husks, into wood substitute byproducts such as chipboards, MDF boards, which are used to make furniture and learning materials for our ECD schools and building materials, giving us an alternative to wood and therefore contributing also to the conservation of the environment and our forests. On food security, Your Excellencies, we as a county that is blessed with favorable conditions for agricultural production, we are the leading producer of rice in the region and the largest producer of tomatoes in the country, with a production of 54,000 tons per year. A lot of these tomatoes go to waste every year. And therefore, we have invited investment in rice and tomato processing because it's not only sensible, but sustainable for food production. Our goal is to strengthen our food security by transforming our agricultural economy from subsistence to sustainable food production. Our Wezesha Kirinyaga program targets capacity building in women and youth to profitably engage in dairy, coffee, and horticulture subsectors. Through Wezesha Kirinyaga, the poultry program, for example, we intend to produce 1 million eggs a month in the next 7 months, and therefore to curb the deficit, we are told we import 10 million eggs a month from Uganda. On affordable housing, the Keregoya Kutus municipality was one of the 10 municipalities selected by the Sustainable Urban Economic Development Program, SUAID, to receive technical and seed grant funding towards creating sustainable urban infrastructure that will support the growth of urban settlement and subsequently strengthen our journey towards investment in affordable housing. And I must thank UK Aid for that support. Like Kirinyaga, I am sure each of the counties represented amongst the 10 here and others today have many success stories that we can all learn and benefit from. As we interact over the next 3 days, I encourage all of us to collaborate, cooperate, and have candid conversations as stakeholders in the success of devolution. Lastly, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as you participate in this forum over the next few days, I encourage you to spare some time to visit our Kirinyaga coffee shop. Kirinyaga is home to one of the finest coffees in the world, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the governor. The International Coffee Review, which is one of the world's leading experts on coffee marketing and promotion, has ranked 2 of our coffee factories amongst the top 30 coffees in the world. Baragwe Farmers Coffee Cooperative has ranked number 4, while Kabare Cooperative has ranked number 24 internationally last year. Recently, Kiangoi Coffee Factory, also in Kirinyaga, won the International Taste Standards Award held in Rwanda. You will have an opportunity to sample world-class coffee right here at this conference. Your Excellency, that coffee shop is, I think, on our right. When you get out of the holding room, you will see we've set up a full coffee shop, and everyone can feel free to please join and sample the true taste of Kirinyaga. I am also pleased to inform this conference that on March 16th of this year, the first ever Kirinyaga Coffee House will officially open in Newark, New York. This is as a result of our marketing endeavors, and as a start, our partners will be buying 3 to 4 tons of coffee per week directly from our farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to travel to New York to sample this award-winning coffee. We invite you to pass by the Kirinyaga coffee right here at the conference and get yourself a latte, a mocha, or just regular coffee and sample the best coffee in the world. Kirinyaga is gaining popularity as a leading weekend destination and one of the fast-growing adventure tourism destinations in Kenya. Please make some time to visit our waterfalls, our historical sites and geographical wonders like Darashayagai or God's Bridge over the Nyamindi River. Try out our bungee jumping and water rafting on Sagana River, or simply enjoy the cool of Mount Kenya at Castle Lodge. By the way, did you know that our water rafting course in River Sagana is the second best in Africa, next to Morocco? Now you know. And that we host international water rafting competitions and training. Please take some time and go to the water rafting area. Finally, as the host county governor, it is now my distinct pleasure to invite you to the evening's Jeans and Boots Country Music Festival this evening at the grounds right next to the exhibition stands. I trust that you came with your jeans and boots. And if not, I'm sure you'll have a chance to change. We have provided VVIP changing rooms at these grounds. In the event that you did not bring any pair of jeans, do join us anyway. Nothing stops you from joining us as we devolve some dancing later this evening. As the English say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We hope you will enjoy Kirinyaga. Welcome once again, and thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, our host, Governor Anne Waiguru. And now, Your Excellency, sir, the Vice Chair, Council of Governors, Governor Mwangi Wairia, will present the status on action points from the 5th Governors Devolution Conference. Governor Mwangi Wairia, karibu sana. You briefly present the action points. Karibu.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President, the Deputy President, and all the delegates. I think as per the program, I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to introduce the steering committee, which brought this journey or this process this far, and I want them to judge the steering committee which was in the planning of the Devolution Conference, Senator Kenyatta. So it was mainly composed of Senate, it was composed of the Minister of Devolution, led by Waziri Wamarwa, and the Council of Governors, and also the county assemblies. Thank you very much for your job well done. I want to take this opportunity to take you through the summary report on implementation of the 5th Annual Devolution Conference Joint Communique Resolutions. This is a conference which happened a year away in Kakamega. The first item was on intergovernmental relations. It was resolved that we need to strengthen intergovernmental relations institutions by anchoring the Council of Governors and the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Secretariats in law. The Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council Secretariat is already anchored in Section 187 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, where National Treasury is assigned to provide Secretariat services. To anchor the Secretariat of the Council of Governors, a draft amendment bill on the Intergovernmental Relations Act 2012 has been developed and is awaiting validation before tabling to the Parliament. There was another issue on administrative framework for intergovernmental sectoral reforms. It was agreed that we need to put an administrative framework for intergovernmental sectoral reforms, and on that, the constitution of consultative sectoral FOLA draft regulations have been developed to standardize operation of intergovernmental sector reforms. Number 2 was on the issue of governance and leadership. And the issue which came through was that we need to have an effective public participation approach that genuinely engages citizens in determining development priorities. To that effect, the following has been effected. 40 counties have already established county budget and economic forums from the previous 27. And 7 counties from the previous 22 have enacted public participation laws, and a national policy on public participation is under development. All counties are holding public participation when approving their budgets and their CIDPs. So far, 31 counties have audit committees as guided by the PFM Act. In order to promote knowledge sharing among counties, which was an output of last year's devolution, at least 5 inter-county knowledge sharing forums spearheaded by COG Maarifa Center, which is guided by World Bank, has happened where 357 senior national and county government officials participated. On enablers, it was resolved that we must and we need to mainstream gender, youth, minorities, and marginalized groups and persons with disabilities in planning and implementation of programs. To that effect, leadership and governance training to 447 women county executives and ward labs was held. Access to government procurement opportunities, AGPO, training has happened to 758 women, youth, and persons with disability. 26 counties are now fully compliant with AGPO reporting requirements. On the issue of having space for county governments in all Huduma centers, the Council is happy to report that Huduma centers have incorporated county government counters to provide county services such as approval of business permits, licensing, etc. It was also resolved that automation of exchequer releases to county governments was to happen within 6 months, and we are happy to report that all exchequer releases have been automated. Even if there are some challenges in there, here and there, we are automated at that point. The other resolution was that county governments had to strive to expeditiously settle their pending bills. This has been an issue, and the Council is happy to report that the verification of existing pending bills has been completed by the 47 county governments, and a settlement scheme developed and shared with the Office of the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General. As we speak, the Auditor General is in all the 47 counties auditing the pending bills, and we expect that there will be a report soon. It was also resolved that verification of defunct local authority assets and liabilities had to be completed by the remaining 16 counties then. We are happy to report that the verification of defunct local authorities, assets and liabilities has been completed by all the 47 counties. And the same has been discussed at IBEC, ready for presentation to the summit. On the issue on health sector, this is a broad issue, and I think that was at the beginning of the focus on health as a Big Four agenda, but it was agreed that we had to address the governance and health leadership, efficiency and quality of health care, accountability and fair investments in the training, deployment and distribution of medical specialists and other health workers based at county levels. This being a very broad subject, which is one of the key subjects of this conference, I don't think I want to get deep into it because it will be properly exposed through the forum. But we also want to report that we are happy that the universal health care trial has kicked off in at least 4 counties on trial basis. And as county governments, we also want to report that facilitation by counties of at least 838 medical officers to undertake postgraduate specialized training has happened. Integrated human resource information system software has been installed in at least 20 counties, and all counties are now compliant with medical supplies KEMSA on online ordering of health commodities. That agenda will be delved into in more details in the course of this conference. On the issue of agriculture, again, it is a main subject, but we were mandated to enhance production efficiency, strengthening farmer extension services, addressing gender and youth productivity gap, embracing and expanding irrigation and adoption of smart technologies and innovations, as well as managing risks associated with farm enterprises. To that effect, I would want to report that agricultural transformation and growth strategy has been developed. Agriculture extension guidelines has been developed and disseminated to all the 47 counties. 26 agricultural mechanization stations fully equipped with 350 tractors has been deployed. 292 milk coolers has been installed in at least 26 counties. And 2,300 irrigation kits has been distributed to 31 counties. And at least 1,700 hectares of county land covered under irrigation projects to date. Again, agriculture, food security is one of the main agendas in this conference. On urban development, housing and infrastructure, it was resolved that we need to establish an all-inclusive and integrated mechanism for the delivery of the affordable housing agenda. Again, this is one of the big fours, and we are happy to report that at least, and I think this number has been overtaken, 18 county governments have signed an MOU with the national government for delivery of at least 28,000 housing units in the next 1 year. So that's work in progress, and we've been in discussion with the Ministry of Housing to that effect. On the issue of housing and planning, again, 29 county governments are developing county spatial plans, but at least it's only one which has a fully approved county spatial plan. Lastly, on trade and manufacturing, it was resolved that we need to strengthen and provide linkages to small, micro, medium enterprises to access both domestic and internal markets. And I think from a broader perspective, a GOA strategy has been developed to link SMEs with American markets, but at a more county government level, in order to enhance inter-county trades. Draft policy for regional economic blocks is being developed to enhance inter-county trade and investment. We also want to report that on the issue of trade and manufacturing, we want to thank the national government and the county governments in general for having contributed towards the reposition of Kenya. I think at position 61 globally in the ease of doing business index, I think from the previous 81. However, the other issue has been the issue of tariffs, uncoordinated and sometimes punitive tariffs across counties. And we know there is a piece of legislation which is being developed in between the national government and ourselves on harmonization of tariffs across counties, so that we can have a more equitable taxation system or regime in order to encourage investors to do business across counties with much ease. So I think that is the end. Those are just highlights. Most of these things will be discussed further into details as we try to see how best we can achieve some of the items which were not achieved as per resolution's 5th Annual Devolution Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. I wish to invite Your Excellency, sir, and the distinguished ladies and gentlemen to pay attention to the screens for witness accounts on the impact of devolution and efforts towards the realization of the Big Four agenda in the counties. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Fellow Kenyans, I have come up with 4 responses to these concerns, and I call them the Big Four: food security, affordable housing, manufacturing, and affordable health care for all. During the next 5 years, I will dedicate the energy, time, and resources of my administration to these Big Four.
Tulianzisha kwa sababu tuliona kulikuwa need. Kuna profit mingi ukiuza unga kwa sababu tumefanya value addition. Kwa sababu pia hata the Big Four agenda ya serikali ni ya kwamba kuna watu wenye wanatakana wafanye manufacturing kwa wingi.
I would say I'm very lucky to be one of the companies that get support from our county, because we've gotten support through sales, introduction to KCIC, which is Kenya Climate Innovation Center, through record keeping, exhibitions, which they fully provide even for transport. We've been able to supply our products to other counties. We have like over 10 counties that we supply fertilizer to.
Hata ukiangalia stima ni ile hata sijawahi ona. Stima ni ile ya high class. Stima inawaka usiku, tunauza usiku, biashara iko sawa. Ukienda kwa choo ni zile za Nairobi.
Kazi yangu ni ya kutengeneza tuktuk na pikipiki. Tuseme serikali ya Laikipia wanatia training ya vile mtu hiyo kazi ya iende iwe kazi kubwa ama kampuni kubwa.
County government walikuwa wanaona vitu zetu ambazo tulikuwa tunafanya kwa exhibitions, na walitupatia shilingi milioni 1 out of 3 million shillings ambazo tulikuwa tumepropose. Tukaanza nazo, tukapata kununua hii plot, tukapata kujenga hiyo solar dryer.
Tunao hizi nyumba ambao tulijenga kama Sambo House, na lengo letu kuu ni kujenga nyumba kama hizi
200.
Tangu tumefika hapa, serikali yetu ya county imetusaidia sana tena. Imetushikilia na mkono wawili. So sisi tumejenga manyumba.
Kuna watu wengine, hata wengine wanakaga kwa nyumba na ana pesa ya kutibiwa, lakini saizi tumepata hii huduma ya UHC, imesaidia watu wengi na haina ubaguzi yoyote.
Tuko na hosi karibu, kama unaenda lab test ni free, kila kitu ni free. Kama umekuja kwa check up, hata kama uko mgonjwa wanakutibu tu vizuri na ni free.
Zamani ya tu kuwa tunapata hata madaktari ya ng'ombe hapa jijini, lakini sasa madaktari wanakuja wanasaidia wakulima. Kwa hivyo mimi binafsi kama mkulima naona tumefaidika kubwa.
Nikiwa mlemavu hapa niko kwa shamba langu. Nilikuwa nalima shamba hii kwa mikono tu, wanapata makunia ati saiti ni kunia 3, kunia 4. Lakini kwa wakati wa saisi napata makunia 15.
I'm an avocado farmer. Now the good thing is that the county government is supporting us in this activity. We've undergone a number of trainings in different areas. They are also distributing seedlings to our farmers. My farm size here is small, about 1/2 acre, and I was able to make more than 500,000 shillings last year.
Sometimes ni kuwa unaweza tukaja watu 3 watu 4, sasa daktari pengine yuko peke yake. Tungeomba ya kwamba serikali pia tuifikirie madaktari, kwa sababu wakiwa 3 4 watamhudumia yule mtu vizuri.
Mimi sijaona wakisema sisi tumetoka county ambayo tunakuja mpaka huko kuwasaidia, kuwaletea hii AI ambayo kama sisi tungekuwa nayo hatungekuwa na hii shida ya maziwa.
Si kawaida hii pesa inakosa sana, sijui kwa nini. Mbaya wa hii soko, mshere haikunji kwa soko, kwa sababu mshere inaenda kwa masto, kwa sababu sijui kama nini license.
Corruption ni kama mtu amefanya kesi, unamlipa pesa, inakuwa umempea hongo. Kama vile mapolisi wakienda kwa pombe wanapewa hongo.
Kenya ni mali watu wanafai kukaa, si pahali watu wanafai kuharibu.
Nataka watu wanafanya corruption wafungwe jela.
President na governors wa deal na hii corruption ndio tuweza kusucceed na the big 4 agendas, na tutaweza kusonga mbele.
From that of hardship and want to new lives of greater comfort and well-being. And that is the future that I have seen.
Mr. President, you're 1 in a million. I believe in you. I support Big 4 Action Plan.
Kenya inchi yangu, Kenya inchi yangu iliyo uhuru.
I believe that is the end of it. Then continue, play, continue.
Kenya inchi yangu, Kenya inchi yangu iliyo uhuru, inchi iliyo uhuru, toka sasa mpaka milele. Kenya inchi yangu, Kenya inchi yangu naisherehekea.
Thank you. We appreciate everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And look at me now. And look at me now. Your Excellency, sir, children from the 47 counties had an opportunity to hold the Children's Devolution Conference, where they had an opportunity to discuss concrete matters on education and the Big Four agenda. Allow me, Your Excellency, to invite two students, Rachel Mubai, a pupil from Nyeri County, and also Ribati Kimani, a secondary school student from Murang'a County, to present the communique that was born from that Children's Devolution Conference. Karibuni sana.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta. Honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Rachel Mumbi. I'm a child with disability from Karimino Primary School, Nyeri County, County of Hilos. I'm in class 7. Your Excellency, allow me to read to you the resolution passed by children during their conference. Okay. Your Excellency, allow me to read to you the resolution passed by children during their conference. We were 300 children from 47 counties of the Republic of Kenya, aged 18 years and below. We came from nursery schools, primary and secondary schools. We had representation from county children government and Kenya Children's Assemblies. We assembled at Nairobi Primary School in Nairobi County for the second Children's Devolution Conference. The conference was held between 17 and 21st February 2019. The theme was Deliver, Transform, Measure, Remaining Accountable, Prosperous Counties for Children. The aim of the conference was to gather children perspectives on the implementation of the Big Four agenda. We now share our resolution developed through county children forums, gallery walks, and conference plenaries, fun activities, and evening bonfires. A. Manufacturing and trade. That the trade and manufacturing sector should facilitate young people to access mentorship, career guidance, and employment. That the national and county government shall control air and noise pollution from industries which affect child development. B. Universal health coverage. That the county will provide free nutrition, foods, and supplements to children infected with HIV and AIDS, and those children with nutritional deficiencies in order to boost their immunities against infection and diseases. That the county government should provide medical services, including referral systems that are friendly to adolescents, and health facilities are needed to equipped with public hotline and others essential infrastructure. Your Excellency, allow me to invite my fellow child to present the other resolution.
Thank you, Thank you, Rachel. Your Excellency, the President, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, honorable delegates, my name is Liberty Kimani Njau from Murang'a County in a place called Kehumwere, which was later rebranded to Kenyatta Farm. I'm in Form 4 in a day school called Swani Secondary School in Kehumwere. In addition to the resolutions read by Rachel, children also had the following requests on the Big Four agenda, that is food security and nutrition. The first point, that the national county governments should work should work with development partners to involve children in food production skills, agribusiness, agroforestry, innovative water harvesting, and conservation of the environment. On the next Big Four agenda, that is affordable housing, the children had this view, Your Excellency, that the national and county government should ensure that children have access to decent housing in safe environments. Secondly, that children have safe spaces to play and rest, quality toilets, proper ventilation, safe water, adequate lighting, and infrastructure that is friendly to children with disabilities. On education, education affects us as children directly. The children had this view, Your Excellency. The first point, that the national and county governments should promote universal access to competency-based education for all children, including those with disabilities, the street children, and those from minority and marginalized groups, to ensure parity in transition, in retention and transition. Secondly, Your Excellency, that the county government should ensure children have sufficient awareness of available courses in vocational education and training centers, and build a strong campaign to inform children on value of taking courses from these centers. On children's rights and protection, the children had this view. First, that the county government should establish child protection units. Secondly, that national government should enforce the correct procedure for handling all categories of children, including those in need of care and protection, in conflict or in contact with the law. Thirdly, that the national and county governments should ensure full implementation and investment in affirmative action and programs for the girl child. The fourth point, that the Ministry of Education and Teacher Service Commission, that is TSC, should post more teachers to rehabilitation centers. The last point, that the national and county governments should ensure that children are free from drugs, harmful substances, harmful social practices, and negative influence in order to transform their communities. Your Excellency, this communique was endorsed on 20th of February 2019 in Nairobi County by His Excellency Mutahi Kahiga, representing the Council of Governors, and our Children President, Her Excellency Rukaya Omar. Our Children President has sent you greetings, Your Excellency, and well wishes. Thank you.
We give the children a round of applause, another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we allow them to present the communique to His Excellency the President. As we allow the children to move down and present the communique to His Excellency the President. And Your Excellency, with your permission, I will now invite the Cabinet Secretary for Devolution and Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, to take us through the program. Bwana CS, karibu.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Excellencies, Governors, Excellencies, Deputy Governors, Excellencies, Ambassadors, and heads of mission who are here today, the children are presenting their memorandum or communique. They have presented a copy to His Excellency the President and also to the Chair of COG. Makofi kwa watoto wetu. Your Excellency, we had the privilege of visiting the children when they were having their conference with the Chair COG, and we met your counterpart, the President, Omar, the children's president, Your Excellency. I wish Her Excellency was here. She was a very, very impressive leader, leading over 300 of her colleagues in this historic conference. And we are very, very happy that at the table of devolution, we don't leave our children behind. Last year, we also sponsored over 300 youths to the Kakamega conference. And this year, Your Excellency, we have sponsored persons with disabilities. They are part of us. And we are saying that at the table of devolution, we leave no one behind. We are very, very happy to be here. And Your Excellency, yesterday after the summit, we had a few matches. And Your Excellency, I must regret that our team didn't do very well yesterday. I think we were the first casualties. As the executive from national government, we lost to the MCS. They were very tough, Your Excellency. But the toughest match, Your Excellency, was between the senators, led by Senator Murkomen, the striker, and the governors. This match went on into the night, I think. I left just before the final results. So this morning I was inquiring from Mangi, the DG from Kisii, and he was telling me he was in serious pain because he hadn't been on the pitch for a long time. But they were almost beating the Senators, but I don't know what happened thereafter. They lost the match. But what I saw was a very hard tackle between Governor Godana. And this governor, you know, previously he was in the military. And Senator Murkomen in the morning was complaining that the governor, who had military skills, tackled him with military precision. But I'm happy to see the majority leader in one piece. And we are saying next time we'll do better as the executive. For me, Your Excellency, I'm particularly grateful to our host governor, Governor Her Excellency Annual Devolution for hosting us in Kirinyaga. And also thank our former host in Kakamega, Governor Oparanya. I think those of you who are in Kakamega, we had a very successful conference. We really enjoyed ourselves. And Governor Oparanya was boasting of the 24-hour economy in Kakamega. Little did I know that it would be coming direct from Kakamega to Kirinyaga. And we have had a good time, Your Excellency, and we are very, very happy to be here, Your Excellency. And there was one friend of mine, Your Excellency. This guy is the Speaker of Kitale, Trans Nzoia County Assembly, Joshua Wirunga. You're a good friend, you know him. So he told me on Friday that he was traveling to Kirinyaga. But I told him the conference starts on Monday. But he said, I'll go ahead, mutanipata huko. And this gentleman, when we were growing up, he used to like a song about Afro wa Kirinyaga Sagana. So he was asking whether Afro actually came from Kirinyaga or Sagana, because we were told Sagana was in Nyeri. But yesterday we were told there's another Sagana on this side. So Joshua Wirunga, wherever you are, you might be lucky to find Afro Kirinyaga Sagana. But also, we were told this morning, Your Excellency, that Kirinyaga means Kenya. And this is where Ngaiwa Kirinyaga lives. And coming here, we're coming closer to God. And we must thank God, Your Excellency. Personally, I'll thank my colleagues who are here with me from Cabinet, who have played a critical role in ensuring that we build partnerships between the national government and the county government, particularly on the Big Four agenda. I must, in particular, thank my sister Cicely Kariuki. And on UHC, Your Excellency, she has worked very, very closely with the governors, particularly in the piloting program. Yesterday, we were in Nyeri with Governor Kahiga, and we saw firsthand that devolution is indeed working, that UHC is working. And if there's anyone in Kenya who doubts whether UHC is working, please come to Nyeri and see what is happening. It is working, Your Excellency. The same is happening in Kisumu with Professor Nyong'o, in Isiolo with Governor Kuti, in Machakos with Governor Mtua, and we want to work together to see that this happens in all our 47 counties. Your Excellency, we are here to celebrate devolution. 6 years down the line, there are success stories we've had here. We've heard of counties that had never seen tarmac roads like Mandera and Wajir, and they do have tarmac roads nowadays. We have heard of counties that didn't have medical equipment, like Turkana. People used to travel all the way to Eldoret, Moi Referral Hospital, over hundreds of kilometers away. But today, Governor Nanok tells us here, because of devolution, we have modern equipment in Turkana and other counties. Samburu, where maternal deaths were very high, almost 90%. As we speak, because of devolution, we have brought down maternal deaths almost by 79%. Because of equipment to our hospitals, Your Excellency. Indeed, as we report and we check the report card about devolution, we can all confidently say here today in Kirinyaga that devolution is working. But not without challenges, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, before you came, we have discussed a few issues here, and there are challenges that devolution is facing. In our 6-year journey, these challenges are here with us. We need more money, and the county is asking of more money from the national government. But also, at the same time, their own revenue sources are dwindling in the counties. We also have the problem of a lot of the resources going to recurrent expenditure and very little going to development. We have the ballooning wage bill as one of the major challenges, Your Excellency. We have corruption as one of the challenges. And we had His Excellency, the Ambassador, the High Commissioner from the UK, Nick Haley here, who said that it is time that corruption was tackled. Otherwise, corruption has the potential of actually killing the dream of devolution. And many of the speakers from the Senate to the MCS, and I had Osoi here speak about it. We had our judge from the judiciary, the president of the Court of Appeal, Justice William Ouko, speak here about devolution and also the threat of corruption and the resolve of the judiciary to partner with you, Your Excellency, in fighting this scourge. All we are asking is that our president has declared war on corruption. He's leading the battle from the front. He is leading the battle from the top. But on his own, he cannot succeed unless all the governors and all the leaders from the ground lead the fight from the ground. This is what we're asking of all of us here as stakeholders in devolution today. It is a challenge, Your Excellency, but I believe we can overcome it. But even as we look at these challenges of pending bills and other challenges, there are also opportunities that present themselves on the horizons of devolution as we move forward after 6 years. We have technology at our disposal. We have some of the counties that have automated the revenue collection. During the corruption conference in Bomas, Governor Kibwana told us about 14 counties that are doing very well. Just by embracing technology, they have more than doubled their revenue collection. We did see the launch of the Joint National Resource Mapping by His Excellency the President at KICC. And this has the potential of increasing our revenue collection. It has the potential of enhancing our revenue management by our counties. It also has the potential of enhancing revenue generation. And this is where we must go so that we strengthen the on-source revenue issues. Your Excellency, We do also have the opportunities that through policy interventions, and I thank Senator Murkomen here who challenged us in agriculture, there's a need to work together with the counties to develop and strengthen the policy framework so that we can realize the Big Four agenda. Already there are policy interventions by the national government, Your Excellency, on the issue of on-source revenue in Cabinet. We already passed the on-source revenue policy, and we have a bill pending before Parliament. We believe this will go a long way in strengthening the policy and legal framework to help our counties in building capacity. We have also, Your Excellency, as directed in Bomet, been able to develop a policy on regional economic blocks. Your Excellency, as we speak, this policy is before Cabinet, and this policy will go a long way in strengthening our counties, in transforming them into investment magnets, in making our counties enjoy economies of scale, working together to carry out major infrastructure projects that on their own they could not have achieved. So these are some of the opportunities on the horizon, Your Excellency, and we want to assure the governors that we'll continue working together to support them. Your Excellency, as I end my speech, I just want to say today I'm very, very happy to be here in Kirinyaga. Your Excellency, it is 6 years since you oversaw the birth of devolution in our country. In the 6 years of administration, you've had 3 cabinet ministers steering devolution in our country. Annual Uhuru goes down in our history as the first cabinet secretary who laid the foundation for devolution in this country, and we must congratulate her. We have heard about the good work she's doing in Kirinyaga, but we cannot forget about the good work she did at the ministry in laying the foundation for us. She was there for 2 years, Your Excellency, and she was able to oversee the first and second devolution conferences in Kwale and Kisumu. The second minister was my brother Kiunjuri, who oversaw the third and fourth devolution conferences in Meru and in Nakuru. Last year, I was in Kakamega with my brother, Governor Oparanya, but I was not very sure if I would be at the 6th devolution conference, Your Excellency. And all my colleagues who are seated here in Cabinet, they need not lie, but I can tell you everybody was worried. Your Excellency, in the Roman calendar, the month of March is a very deadly month. It's named after the god of war. And we know you have declared war on corruption, Your Excellency. And this is the month of March where we are told in Julius Caesar about the Ides of March. So, of course, the press has been on our case, and there was the talk of a major cabinet reshuffle and all this. So I was not very sure that today I will be in Kirinyaga, Your Excellency. But because we've come closer to God, may I say, Ngaiwa Kirinyaga akuradhime, that I can stand here today. Because I would have been the first minister for devolution to serve for under 2 years. So I have a very personal reason to be happy to be at this devolution conference. And I want to thank you all for working together, for ensuring that the dream of devolution is realized. And lastly, Your Excellency, I was just thinking about 6 years of devolution. And I remembered, Your Excellency, what some people were talking about, your legacy. And some were saying, perhaps your legacy would lie in the SGR. Because for over 100 years, not a single kilometer of railway had been laid in this country. When you took over, you said you would do it, and you're able to do it in under 4 years, and you build the railway all the way from Mombasa to Nairobi. And Madaraka Express is one of the most celebrated success stories in Africa. Many are saying that could be your legacy. Last weekend, I was watching a story on CNN. And this journalist had gone to the slums of Kambio in Nairobi and had gone to the family of Michael Onyango. A young boy who had grown up in poverty was now transiting from primary to secondary. And they were highlighting the success story of Kenya's transition from primary to secondary. As we speak, we are almost at 100%. It is one of the most celebrated issues, Your Excellency, in Africa today. It was being celebrated on CNN. And it's not easy for CNN to be very kind for a third world country like ours. Some are saying that could be a legacy, but Your Excellency, I believe your legacy lies in devolution. Your vision of the big four, when you look at them, they are largely devolved functions. So the big four agenda is really at the heart of the devolution agenda. They're inseparable. And your legacy will depend on the success of the big four and the success of devolution, Your Excellency. I believe this can be done with the support of all these governors who are here today. I believe so far we have achieved the highest level of the best intergovernmental relations in the last 6 years. I believe by focusing on the big four and realigning our budgets, our CIDPs to the big four, and working together the way we have been doing, Your Excellency, together we will succeed. And Your Excellency, we still remain with you as the defender of devolution against the scourge of corruption. When we started the journey, Your Excellency, with you and His Excellency Deputy President William Ruto, I remember when you were launching TNA, you did say there were two things you wanted to be remembered for. That you rid this country of tribalism and you will unite this country. That you rid this country of corruption. And if those are the only two things you could do as president, those would be what you would want to form the basis of your legacy. I did tell you, Your Excellency, the story about an eagle. There's a legend about the eagle turning 40. That when the eagle turns 40, it must retreat high up the mountain and go through a painful molting process, shed off its beak and grow a new one, shed off its talons and grow a new one, shed off its feathers and grow a new one. Your Excellency, Kenya is like an eagle after 40 years. I think we have reached the stage, listening to all the leaders here today, that unless we retreat like the eagle retreats and go through that painful molting process of shedding the talons, the beaks, and the feathers of corruption, if the eagle does not do that, the eagle dies. We must be courageous enough to do that, Your Excellency. And I believe you have what it takes, and we are here to support you. And the Bible says in Matthew chapter 18, verse 8, that if it is my little finger that causes me to sin, even if it is my arm that causes me to sin, to stumble, and not see the kingdom of heaven, and condemn me to the eternal fires of hell, I would rather you cut off that little finger, even if it was Eugene or Malwa, even if it was all your cabinet secretaries, even if it were these governors, so that Kenya may live, Your Excellency. That is the Bible that says that. That is the Bible that says that. And Your Excellency, the Pope was here, Obama was here. They both say two things. Kenya's threats, we must overcome our challenge of negative ethnicity and corruption. But the Pope said, as he ended his speech, he said, Kenya, you either overcome these challenges or you be overcome by them. I don't know if you remember what the Pope said. So I think we are at that stage, Your Excellency, and may I take this opportunity now to invite the Speaker of the Senate, whom we are working very closely with, to defend devolution. And he was also a former governor, and he has really improved intergovernmental relations between the governors and the Senate. Never had we had this turnout of senators at our devolution conferences. Bwana Lusaka, you have done well. Welcome, my brother, to make your remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Waziri. Our guest of honor today, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, all devolution stakeholders present. Your Excellency, before I make my remarks, allow me just to introduce the champions this year, who are the senators, and I want to ask them to be upstanding so that you can see that these were the champions this year. Let's give a round of applause to them. Thank you so much, and you can see the turnout is good. It was not very easy, Your Excellency, yesterday, but what I learned is that when you are determined and focused, you achieve what you want. There were distractors, you know, we went through a lot of troubles to win this match. There were even attempts to rig us out, but Your Excellency, we remained focused. When you are chasing an antelope and a rapid comes up, you still continue focusing on the antelope, you leave the rapid to go its own way. And we are going to be that determined, we are going to support you in your agenda. Allow me to start by quoting what Martin Luther King says, that we are not makers of history, we are made by history. Today we are gathered here to review for the 6th year the direction, progress, challenges, and achievements of our county under devolved governance. It is my sincere belief that with all challenges and shortfalls, no county can be said to have become worse from devolved governance. The county governments have without doubt made remarkable and substantial contributions to the improved reporting structure of the national government. What we see in the general growth of our country can indeed be attributed to a great measure on several initiatives that have been spurred by devolution. Every one of us present here has a testimony of what has been revived, resuscitated, or wholly initiated with the devolution. The theme of this year's conference, Deliver, Transform, Measure, Remaining Accountable, resonates well with the objectives of devolution, and it's something all of us gathered here identify with. The conference affords us an opportunity to assess, audit, reflect, and take stock of the successes and challenges of devolution. It is feedback time, it is reporting time, it is accounting time. It's a time to compare notes and learn from each other, and more importantly, it is time to listen and learn what has worked and what needs to be done for the better implementation of devolution. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we must fight corruption at all levels. We must acknowledge the symbiotic relationship between the legislature and the executive. We must stop the faulty propagation of unnecessary sovereignty for both. In reality, separation of powers is institutionally desirable, but for functionality across institutions, we must remain cognizant of the end result, which is service delivery for the Mwananchi. So the government is one organic unit, and its arms must work in cooperation and collaboration. As a Senate, we are embracing our role with greater enthusiasm, and that is why we have adopted the Senate Mashinani. We want to take the Senate to the people. Towards this end, we held our first successful outside Nairobi in Uasin Gishu County in September last year. We are in the process of identifying the next county for our sitting this year. We are strengthening our oversight role, and in this regard, I want to applaud the harmony that exists among the institutions implementing devolution. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if we are able to be responsive and accountable, our priority must remain to ensure there is effective public participation in government business. It is our desire as the Senate of the Republic to see that all programs are initiated through consultation consensually agreed upon by the majority of our key stakeholders. That is why we have prioritized the Public Participation Bill, which will not only ensure that local projects are collectively and legitimately identified by the electorate, but their implementation achieves the highest impact. Public participation has to genuinely reflect and incorporate public input, resonate with the aspirations of the publics, be shielded from the elite capture, and cease to be a mere ritual. It should be collective, inclusive, and on a need-based execution. So upon enactment, this law will improve participatory processes and enhance the understanding of citizens in order to level the expectation and needs, as well as build community support for development programs and activities. Corruption and lack of good governance have been identified as the root causes of many of the serious deficiencies in society. This will be greatly reduced through public participation. We have to sharpen focus and prioritize demand-driven interventions that address key challenges of poverty, inclusivity, and spur economic growth. So we look forward to the support and partnership of the county governments in this endeavor to accelerate transformation through devolution. So to improve the ease of doing business in the counties, the Senate is considering the Public-Private Partnership Bill, which will open up partnerships to enable the actualization of the Big Four agenda. So we have also passed the Assumption of Office Bill to ensure seamless transition in county governments. As a Senate, we will not tire in calling upon the national government, the National Treasury, to ensure that funds for the counties are timely disbursed. Continued inordinate delays translate into costly overdrafts and ill will from dissolution service providers. So I also want to urge counties to consider adopting innovative and optimum use of both human and financial resources, expanding on-source revenue, intensify automation of revenue collection, and further seal revenue leakages. So as I conclude, I just want to say this, that for us, for devolution to succeed, we must build the capacity of our county assemblies. The county assemblies are the first point of oversight. So we must build their capacity, and just like they said, if we can also find a mechanism of having financial independence so that they are able to carry out their oversight role without relying on the executive for them to achieve the results they want. So we want to say that, so that even as a Senate, we would want to concentrate more on performance audit as the counties concentrate on operational audit, so that it doesn't appear like there's duplication of what we are doing. So once we do that, when we strengthen the counties, that is where we are going to succeed in devolution. With those very many remarks, I want to wish you well, I want to thank you, and I want to really thank the senators for putting up that great show. And like I've assured you, Excellency, we are not going to be only champions on the field, but we are going to be champions in defending devolution and ensuring that devolution works in this country. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. With your permission, Your Excellency, I will now invite the chairperson, the Chairman Council of Governors, and the Governor Kakamega County, Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, to make his remarks, and then invite His Excellency the Deputy President to take us through the rest of the program. Chairperson, Council of Governors, karibu sana.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable delegates, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, as you are aware, we have held 5 very successful devolution conference. This is the 6th devolution conference. And this is an annual event organized by the Council of Governors. But we do not do it alone. We do this in consultation with your Ministry of Devolution and, of course, the Senate. They play a very important role. So we hold this event as a family of devolution, and we thank you for your support through the Ministry of Devolution. I want also to use this opportunity to acknowledge those who have been very active to make sure that the successive devolution conference are a success. We have the MCAs. I know they have come in large numbers. If they are here, can you just stand to be seen? All MCAs from various counties. You can see they are actually a quarter of this house. So they have come in large numbers. Lastly, I have my colleagues who commit funds that we use for this particular conference. Governors, they have come in large numbers. Maybe I can't acknowledge each of them individually because of time, but if they can just stand where they are, you can see everybody is here. Thank you very much for that support. Now, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Council of Governors, I take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to this 6th Annual Devolution Conference, and to all other distinguished guests. Karibu sana. This year, we meet again as devolution partners to celebrate the success of devolution and forge sustainable relationship that will steer devolution for the next 1 year. I would like to recognize the hard work of the steering committee, which was of course introduced by the CS devolution. The steering committee is co-chaired by the Vice Chair of the Council, Governor Mwangi wa Iria, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Devolution, and Senator Irungu Kangata, and Mr. Eric Mwangi, or Honorable Eric Mwangi, Secretary General of the County Assemblies Forum. Recognition is also due to the Planning Committee and all other institutions represented here who took time to plan and prepare for the conference. Asanteni sana. I would also like to recognize the presence of our international guests who traveled from different parts of the world to join us this week. We appreciate you, and I had 2 names here. We have Mr. Sichole Mbaka, Deputy Secretary General of the United Cities and Local Government of Africa. I don't know where he is. And then we have the other one, Mustafa Silisi, a representative of FOCA, Association of Subnational Governments. Accept a warm welcome to Kenya and to Kirinyaga County. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 6 years, counties have been the biggest providers of key services like health, water, road networks, and early childhood education. In each of these sectors, significant strides have been made. For example, Mombasa County, through the Coastal General Hospital, became the first public hospital outside Nairobi to successfully conduct an open heart surgery in 2015. Embu County, through its Embu Level 5 hospital, conducted its first ever brain surgery in January 2018. But despite this milestone, we do admit that the health sector has been experiencing funding and human resource challenges, issues we must discuss in this conference with a view of finding innovative solutions for interventions. Governors are indeed committed to support quality and affordable universal healthcare to make Kenya a world-class hub for health services. In agriculture, counties have expanded agriculture mechanization and made significant leaps in crop and animal production. We can also see value addition and irrigation projects, greenhouses, new market linkages for farmers, and more responsive extension services. In the water sector, county governments have connected more households to piped water, rehabilitated and constructed dams, water ponds, and boreholes, and collaborated with the private sector and non-state actors to support and sustain various community water projects across the country. On education, county governments have increased enrollment in early childhood development centers by rehabilitating deplorable classrooms, building new structures, equipping ECT centers, and recruiting ECT teachers. But we would like to urge the national government to inject more funds into technical and vocational education training, TVET centers, because they are key to enable us in the achievement of the Big Four agenda. Your Excellency, amidst the success of devolution, we still experience teething challenges that have continued to slow down the implementation of the devolved system of governance. Insufficient allocation and delayed disbursement of funds to counties by the National Treasury have nearly paralyzed finalization of development projects and hampered service delivery. In this second phase of devolution, it is imperative that the National Treasury disperses county funds in time to avoid unnecessary interferences with the county operations. Moreover, there are functions that remain unfunded, yet they have already been transferred to the counties. For instance, libraries and museums. Our call for more revenue allocation is informed by the fact that a large percentage of services are provided by the county government. Another challenge has been the overlapping and duplication of functions by the state agencies and corporations and regional development authorities. A huge share of the national budget continues to be allocated to this institution, yet they are performing county functions. And in this second phase, the national government should take deliberate steps for restructuring them. And the devolution policies and laws have continued to weaken the enabling environment for devolution. We still do not have a unified framework for pension management for county government's employees. It is indeed unfortunate that despite lengthy stakeholders' engagement on the matter, the issue remains outstanding to date. There are 3 bills on county pension before Parliament, and despite calls from the summit to have them withdrawn to allow a further consultation, debate on these bills is still ongoing. Intergovernmental institutions must be strengthened and properly institutionalized for them to be more effective so that they can impartially act as clearing houses for most sector and policy issues that sometimes end up in courts or unresolved. Also, we urge the Senate, through the Speaker is here, to introduce amendments to the Intergovernmental Relations Act in order to anchor the operations of the Council of Governors Secretariat into law. Of importance also is the need to establish appropriate county structures on access, promotion of local content, and benefit sharing of county natural resources. It is anticipated that upon completion of the pilot program in Baringo, Laikipia, and Kakamega on the access and benefit sharing in utilization of biological diversity, the same program will be rolled out in all the 47 counties so that there is a common approach in local development. As conference discussions focuses on the Big Four, and I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that the entire Council of Governors has embraced the Big Four agenda. Let me mention that the role of counties in its implementation is still not clear. Some questions remain unanswered. Does every county government really understand what this development blueprint is all about? What is the expected level of involvement of counties in the Big Four agenda? And what is the policy framework that will facilitate coordination between the two levels of government in the implementation of the Big Four agenda? It is of utmost importance, and for the success of this noble development idea, for deepened consultation with the county governments. But dialogue should not come at the tail end. Counties need to be at the planning table for the success of the Big Four agenda. Your Excellency, we see your commitment in the fight against corruption. This country will prosper only if we utilize resources for the purposes they were intended. County governments are 100% with you in this war against corruption. The law should not spare anyone found plundering public resources. As Kenya seeks to heal from a past of negative ethnicity, discrimination, divisive politics, and violence, you all know that there is no peace without development, and no development without peace. And there's no lasting peace or sustainable development without respect of human rights and the rule of law. All of us as leaders have a role in reconciling this nation and ensuring that every Kenyan has access to basic services and opportunities. A clarion call to all of us: strengthen cooperation and coordination with the nexus of successful devolution. Delivery of quality essential services and eliminating poverty and unemployment will be achieved only when we work together. Even in the upcoming census, the national government and the county government are partners, with the counties being able to engage their constituents through civic education on the census. As I conclude, Your Excellency, let me request you, I know you have given a lot of work to your ministers. Your ministers should take this opportunity to come here and be able to share their experiences, the experiences of the devolution partners with them, so that they are able to understand where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going. I'm happy today we have quite a number of them, but when we were in Kakamega, there were quite very few of them. Maybe it was because of the distance. But if they are able to be here, we will be able to interact and be able to share experiences. Your Excellency, I remember our partners who have, I want to remember the partners who have supported this conference. Safaricom, our platform sponsor, the County Pension Fund, CPF, Kenya Commercial Bank, the Children's Investment Fund Foundation, the Water Services Trust Fund, the Nairobi Center for International Arbitration, and other partners. Thank you very much for your contributions to this conference. You are true friends of devolution, and we hope that we shall keep working together. Special thanks also go to the private sector, civil society, the media, the faith-based institutions. We appreciate your collaboration with the counties, and we anticipate deeper cooperation with you in future. And to the judiciary, we acknowledge your hard work in ensuring that the objects and principles of devolution are implemented. Distinguished guests, I wish you all fruitful discussion in the coming days of this particular conference. And Your Excellency, before I invite the Deputy President to make a few remarks and invite you to make your statement and officially open this conference, I am informed by the Office of the President that there is a documentary that they want to put through, and thereafter I will invite the Big Four. I now take this opportunity now to invite the Deputy President to make his remarks, and thereafter invite you to officially open this conference.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, the Chair of the Council of Governors, Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, the Deputy Chair, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Governors present, the Speaker of the Senate, Senators present, members of the county assemblies, and the speakers of the county assemblies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hamjambo. Your Excellency, I will not make a statement because in the rollout of devolution. And looking at this conference, the 5th devolution conference, 6th devolution conference, Your Excellency, I am a very proud member of your government because when history is written, it shall be that you are the president and we are the government that facilitated and consolidated devolution to become the success that devolution today is. Let me also say that listening to governors, there are two things that have come out. There is now greater appreciation of what can happen in our counties. I heard governors speak here about manufacturing. Manufacturing used to be a big thing by big corporates in US dollars. But today, devolution is telling us that manufacturing can be not about foreigners or white people or people with US dollars. It can also be, and it should actually be, about ordinary people in Kenya shillings, in local places in our counties. And it is my very strong belief that that is the trajectory that will turn around our fortunes in matters manufacturing. What they need is the environment, the infrastructure necessary to facilitate manufacturing in every county. The second item, listening to my friends in this conference, is resources. All of us are discussing about more money. And it is true, because I sit in IBEC, and Governor Oparanya remembers that the last meeting of IBEC, we were unable to agree on sharing money. They wanted more, we had less. And therefore, the animal in the room is that we know what we must do. We know how much it costs, but we do not have the resources. And because of the importance of this conference, it is important for us to think outside the box, to find innovative ways, and to sit down together and find a mechanism of baking a bigger cake so that we can all have more to share. And we have suggestions, as the governors know, on how we can raise more revenue using our own sources as county governments. And let me say something here, ladies and gentlemen. In 2002, our whole budget was about 250 billion. Within a very short time, now we are at 3 trillion. The question many people ask was, what was happening? What was happening to our taxes at that time? And the question I want to challenge us is that at the moment, own sources of revenue are very small. Like the same way we moved our budget and revenue from 2003 to the present, I am confident that thinking outside the box, looking at own sources of revenue, we can create additional resources, maybe double or triple in some counties, the money that comes from shareable revenue using own sources of revenue. And therefore, that is something that we must think about. And lastly, when His Excellency the President assembled us to think about the Big Four, it was very clear to us that some of the things that we were thinking about were devolved. But because government is one, and the Constitution says we are going to work in consultation and collaboration, that is why in this conference, the Big Four is a subject of discussion, so that together we can work towards a better Kenya. I want to encourage, listening to Dr. Kuti and Nyirnyir from Isiolo, Anne Waiguru and the coffee from here, and the yogurt and the many other things that we have had, that as a government as well, we decided that we need to reverse this debate about exports and imports. I know there is a huge debate about China and the money China is giving us and the space that is occupying in our country. But there is a flip side. We equally took a decision that we must open up the Chinese market to Kenyans. and Kenyan farmers. And His Excellency the President has already made it possible. In his trip to China, we now have, and Peter Munya, who is here, can confirm that we have solid agreements on ensuring that our farmers, from tea to coffee to avocado to macadamia and many of the other items, including what we can export from our livestock products, the market of about 1 billion people in China is available to us, so that as county governments, as you think about how to expand our agriculture, keep your eyes as well on the export market, because we now have an export policy. Markets are being created that will not only enhance revenues coming to our country, but it will also turn around the fortunes of many farmers in our rural areas. I hope there will be discussion on matters export of our agricultural products in this meeting. As I said, I will make my comments when I get my time. It's now my very humble duty and responsibility to request His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, to come and make his statement. Mr. President, sir.
Hamjambo wenzangu. Na tuketi. The Chair of the Council of Governors, Governor Oparanya, Governors present, Speaker of the Senate, Senators, Speakers of County Assemblies, MCAs, Ambassadors and Development Partners, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you on this important occasion in the devolution calendar. And indeed, I am honored to officiate the opening of the 6th Devolution Conference here in Kirinyaga. Let me begin by taking this very early opportunity to thank the people and the government of Kirinyaga County for hosting and according all of us a very warm reception. Asanteni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, devolution is one of the cornerstones of our constitutional order. It is one of the reasons that so many Kenyans braved long winding queues to overwhelmingly usher in our new supreme law. Devolution was informed and inspired by, among other aspects, the desire to foster national unity, promote accountability in the exercise of power, but also the participation of people in making decisions on matters affecting them with a view to ensuring equitable development. Governors, the theme you have chosen for this year's conference, deliver, transform, measure, remaining accountable, is indeed timely. On the one hand, it affords us the opportunity to reflect on the progress we have made so far, while on the other, the theme resonates powerfully with my own administration's agenda for the nation as espoused under the Medium-Term Plan 3, with its focus on the Big Four. 6 years ago, as the first president to lead the nation in implementing the new devolved structure of governance, I proclaimed the national government's solemn and unwavering commitment to transfer all devolved functions to the devolved units and to do everything necessary to realize the shared aspirations of the people of Kenya through devolution. We embarked on the devolution path with a determination to succeed. And indeed, over the last 6 years, I believe we have made significant milestones in the social, economic, and political renewal of our republic. And most of this is thanks to devolution. For instance, in the deepening of healthcare, when we started, we had a single referral hospital, but today, Kenya now boasts over 8 well-equipped referral facilities across the country. Kenyans from different counties now have referral options, as complex medical conditions and surgeries can now be managed in their respective counties. The collaborative effort between the national government and the devolved governments in this front has led to tremendous progress. And it is against this strong foundation that we are set to embark on the full rollout of universal health care coverage in the remaining 43 counties. Beyond health care, devolution has revved up the economic engines of once sleepy towns and markets. Our local units are now buzzing with activity as businesses boom due to the government being closer to the mwananchi. I acknowledge the investments made in connecting Kenyans. Many county rural access roads have been improved, as well as others which have been upgraded to bitumen standard. The roads have improved mobility, including linking producers to markets, and this has facilitated creation of self-employment and no doubt higher incomes, thus further uplifting the living standards of Kenyans. The last mile connectivity program, together with the street lighting program, are equally inspiring new hope and opening up new opportunities for our people. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture remains the backbone of our economy as well as our social life. In the agricultural sector, counties have stepped up extension services, targeting crop and livestock production and translating into vastly improved crop and livestock yields despite the vagaries of weather. Some counties have even moved a step further by creating processing facilities for some of our local produce, such as mangoes, milk, cotton, amongst others. This indeed is creating the industrial and manufacturing base required for our realization of our Vision 2030 goals. Promotion of value addition has not only created jobs and incomes, but has also a steady market for county produce. And I urge all counties to emulate this innovation. To catalyze entrepreneurship and industry at the grassroots, I also urge county governments to adopt an enterprise-friendly approach to business licensing as well as regulatory processes. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference should not just be another talk shop where castles are built in the sky. There must be full and frank introspection of past promises made to the citizenry versus what has been achieved. There must be effective public participation where all stakeholders are engaged and their voices heard. Plans should be made whose fruits can be gauged when we convene once more in a year's time. The conference provides an opportunity for each county to showcase itself, to learn from the successes and challenges of others, to build collaborative networks and synergies with other units, state organs, national agencies, as well as development partners. Every county government should leave Kirinyaga with renewed drive and vigor, as well as something to take back home to your constituents. It is the desire of all of us gathered here today to leverage on the diverse expertise available to move devolution forward for national development. We must keenly listen and learn from each other over the next few days that we are here. The foundation has been set. Now what every Kenyan expects, each and every county, to prosper and improve the living standards of its citizens. The hour has come for us to raise the bar in the delivery of public service and accountability. Every fiscal year, we equitably divide revenue between the national government and the county governments. As we strive to build our nation and fill the national basket with the fruits of our labor, it is unfortunate that some have their hands in that basket, taking away from the common good the necessary resources needed to build a better Kenya for all. This unfortunate phenomenon exists both at national and county government levels, and it represents the single biggest obstacle to a better Kenya with shared prosperity for all. My government has taken bold steps to create the stable political environment against which our goodwill and support for good governance can flourish. Since the beginning of my second term, Kenyans have witnessed a more aggressive and vibrant, investigative and prosecutorial approach to slay the dragons of corruption and impunity. I want to once again make it clear, this is not a war against individuals or communities. It is war against a crime that robs us the opportunity to build a nation with shared prosperity for all. We have put in place a proactive program of prevention as well as asset recovery that will serve to guard the public purse as well as ensure that those who benefited from proceeds of economic crime from the national or county government tills in the past surrender their ill-gotten gains to the people. I once again reaffirm my unshakable resolve and commitment to the fight against corruption at all levels of government. I will continue to offer my full support to all state agencies involved in this war. And once more, I call upon the judiciary to play its part to ensure that the wheels of justice in this war move with speed. In this regard, I expect all of us to desist from creating barriers, hurdles, and obstacles in the work of all the state agencies involved, and in turn cooperate with them as they discharge their respective mandates. I call on all governors to join me in this generational struggle where we must emphatically say no to corruption and rein in on the corrupt within our respective governments. With this shared, renewed zeal, I can assure all Kenyans that our brightest days lie ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, for so long, Kenyans have been debating devolution, its merits and demerits. From what we have learned, the time has come to put this knowledge into acts and deeds that transform the lives of Kenyans. I would therefore be greatly elated to learn what each county has achieved since our last year's conference in Kakamega County, and I also expect counties to present their reports using preset yardsticks and indicators. In conclusion, I urge all county governments to turn their focus on delivering on the hopes and dreams of Kenyans through tireless commitment to duty, integrity, and servant leadership. Fiscal prudence and curbing wastage is a must at all levels to fully realize our development dream. 6 years on, the state of our devolved units is strong and must be seen to deliver measurable improvements in the standard of living of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to add 3 things. Najua mmechoka kusikiza mastori hapa the whole day. Lakini nina mambo matatu ningependa kuongeza. Ya kwanza ni kusisitiza hayo nimesema juu ya vita vyetu na corruption katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na mimi nataka niseme hivi. Hii vita hatutaishinda kwa mazishi, kwa harusi, sijui wapi. Hii vita tuko na wale ambao wamepatiwa kazi na jukumu ya kufanya hiyo kazi. Na mimi naamini na nafikiria Wakenya wengi wanaamini ya kwamba wale ambao wamepatiwa hiyo kazi wako na uwezo wa kufanya na kutekeleza hiyo kazi. Tunaelewana wenzangu? Okay? So hii mambo ya kila mtu kila siku unaongea. Niliona mwingine akisema sijui nimeiba mali ya nani. Mimi namwambia, wewe tembea hapa Karura Forest hapa. Ofisi ziko hapo. Kwenda useme Uhuru kile ameiba. Shida iko wapi jameni? What is the problem? Lakini hii mambo ya kutishatisha watu ati kwa sababu umetaja kitu kwa mazishi, huyo mtu ambaye amekufa hata kusaidia? Ule mtu ambaye ako na uwezo wa kukusaidia ni DCI. Kwenda upeleke huko alafu useme nimepeleka kesi hii kulingana Uhuru Kenyatta sijui ameiba nini. Sawa. Nani amekuzuia? Lakini hii mambo ya kutembea kila siku, kupiga maneno, what inasaidia nani? Now what do you have to fear? Kwa sababu hata ukija uambiwe umefanya makosa, si utapata nafasi ya kujitetea? Au ni namna gani wenzangu? Na kama bado unaendelea kuambiwa ya kwamba bado umefanya makosa, si uende utafute wakili ndio uende kotini ndio usimame mbele ya koti useme huyu amesema nimeiba, lakini mimi na wakili wangu hii ndio ushahidi wangu ya kwamba mimi siku. Why do we have to take it to funerals? How is it helping anybody? Anyway, hiyo ni moja. Ya pili ni kuhusu hii mambo tunasema juu ya where do we get more money. Jana tulipata nafasi ya kukutana na magovernors kwa ile kikao yetu tunaita summit. Na tukakubaliana ya kwamba tunahitaji kama viongozi kuwa na kikao kujadiliana juu ya utumizi wa fedha ambazo wananchi wanatoa, ikiwa kodi ndio waweze kupata huduma kwa serikali, iwe ni serikali ya kitaifa ama serikali ya county. Kwa sababu tukiangalia sasa vile mambo inaendelea, tukiwa nchi ya wananchi milioni karibu sasa, sensa zikiisha labda tutakuwa labda 50 million sijui. Na iwe ya kwamba 52% of ordinary revenue ile tunapokea kama kodi kutoka wa Kenya, 52% inaenda kwa mishahara ya wafanyikazi wa serikali. Alafu another 30% inaenda kwa recurrent expenditure, ile ambayo imebaki kuhudumia wananchi milioni hiyo, nasema karibu 50 million, ni 20%. Surely there is something wrong in that equation. Na wakati tuliongea, sitaki kusema ni kaunti gani kwa sababu zote ziko na the same problem. Hata mimi, serikali ya kitaifa, we also have the same problem. Lakini kuna moja, revenue yake, county ya revenue ni 9 billion. Sawa? 6 billion inaenda kulipa wafanyikazi 6,000. 3 billion ndio imebaki kuhudumia wananchi milioni 2 na kitu. Is that correct? Right? Kuna kaunti ingine ambao wanatumia 600 million ku-oversee ama ku-supervise kulingana na vile Senator, Speaker wa Senate amesema, you use 600 million to oversight 800 million. Now, does that make sense? So jana, tukiwa pamoja na viongozi wenzangu, tulikubaliana ya kwamba there is time for us to have a national conference on this issue. For us to be able to come up with clear guidelines, what policy, how do we tackle this monster? Because if we don't, we are not really doing justice to the people of this country. So together with my co-chair of the summit, tutapanga na tutaalika watu kutoka sekta zote. Tuje tujadiliane na tujue vile tutatekeleza na tutarekebisha mambo haya. Ndio iwe pesa zile nyingi zinaenda kwa wananchi, lakini sio kwa mifuko ya wachache. Nilisema niko na 3. Ya 3, lakini hii sio mbaya. Ya 3 ni kusema ya kwamba mimi naamini kwa dhati ya kwamba devolution is working. Na nasema hivyo kwa nini? Hata ukitembea, nimepata nafasi kidogo ya kuweza kutembea kwa vibanda kadha hapa, kuona ya kwamba kaingia ya Kirinyaga, tukaona kahawa yao, tukaona ile soko wameweza kujipatia huko Amerika, watu ambao watakuwa wanachukua tani 3 ya kahawa, kuwezesha mkulima badala ya ile shilingi 20 ama 30 shillings alikuwa analipwa, ataweza sasa kuwa analipwa over 120 shillings or something like that. See, that is a good thing. Nikapitia hapo ya Makueni, unaona vile wamefanya hapo mambo ya mangoes na kutengeneza juice na mambo mengine, giving income to over 100,000 households. You can see that there is something real that is happening in the ground. Ile mimi ningeomba ni ya kwamba let us keep this focus on work, because this is what our people want. Nilikuwa juzi kwa mazishi ingine mtu ananiambia, sasa rais, wewe wende utafute sijui kuku za Uganda, sijui zina mayai, inatoa mayai kwa bei ya chini, ati niende nikatafute unga kwa bei ya chini. Mimi naangalia hapa, nimeona hapa kwa Kirinyaga hapa wanajitengenezea chakula yao. They are going to be doing over 1 million eggs, I think, every month at cheaper prices which can compete with Uganda. So mimi ningetaka kushauri, huyu alikuwa ananiambia mambo hiyo, hakuna haja ya kunifuata kwa mazishi ingine kuniuliza, kwenda hapa Kirinyaga hapa watakuonesha vile hiyo kazi inafanywa, ndio upeleke nyumbani ufundishe huko. Si namna hiyo au ni namna gani? Na mimi najua tukifanya hivyo Kenya itasonga mbele, vijana wapate kazi, tuwe na Kenya moja ambayo watu wameungana na wanafurahiana, and that is the spirit of shared prosperity. Si ni namna hiyo? Mungu awabariki na walinde. Asanteni sana.
I will now invite the Deputy President, Karibu, Your Excellency, the Chair Council of Governors, Speaker of the Senate, the Chair and the Vice Chairman, and our host to join His Excellency the President, so that we can launch, for His Excellency the President to launch the legal audit report. And Your Excellency, we request you humbly that we face this side so that we are able to view the screens once you have from one side. Sir, thank you. And now His Excellency will launch officially the legal audit report. Welcome, Your Excellency.
An efficient policy and legislative framework are essential to fully realize devolution. That's why the Kenyan Law Reform Commission and the Council of Governors are opening up a new set of chapters, evaluating policy and law across 7 key sectors. Agriculture is the largest contributor of Kenya's GDP and has maintained an average of 27% through the years. Article 43 provides that every person has the right to the highest attainable standard of health. Land is more than a fact of production in Kenya. Politics, economics, and social life seem to revolve around land. Kenya is endowed with numerous natural resources. Many of these natural resources are finite across the counties. The public finance system should promote an equitable society across all levels of governance. The audit of the trade and investment sector entails a review of 32 pieces of national legislature across areas of economic and business activity. Urban areas should have and facilitate connectivity and synergy between county, national, and global urban systems. Introducing the Legal Audit Report of the National and County Policy and Legislation, an effort between the Council of Governors and the Kenya Law Reform Commission, examining the extent national policy and legislation conform and comply to the devolved system of governance, and proposing remedies forward for the future of our country. The Kenya Law Reform Commission with the Council of Governors, 47 counties, one nation.
Makofi sana, as His Excellency the President has launched this report. Your Excellency, I wish to request that you present copies of the audit report to the first copy, to letter report. Letter the report, please. The first copy to His Excellency the Deputy President. The second copy to the Honorable Speaker of the Senate. The third copy, Your Excellency, to the Chairperson Council of Governors. And now, finally, the last copy to the host governor. Karibu sana. Thank you. Makofi tena. At this point, Your Excellency, I wish to request you to present a check of Kenya shillings 11.46 billion towards the development of municipalities in 45 counties. And I would now request CS Macharia to join His Excellency the President as we present the check to the Chairperson Council of Governors. There we have it, a check of 11.46 billion. And now His Excellency presenting to the Chairperson Council of Governors, and Your Excellency, the individual checks to the counties are here, and they will be able to pick the checks after. Thank you. Your Excellency, Kirinyaga County would really wish Your Excellency to present you a gift as a memento for this occasion that you visit in Kirinyaga County. Niombe the gift from Senator Kirinyaga. Count kindly join the governor as we present this gift to His Excellency the President. That is a gift from Kirinyaga County to His Excellency the President. Makofi tena as His Excellency the President receives that gift. And after that one, Your Excellency, the chairperson Council of Governors would also wish to present a gift, an elephant. Your Excellency, we are in the Mount Kenya region, where Mount Kenya elephant has a lot of these jumbos, elephants. And that is a present from the Council of Governors to His Excellency the President. And after the national anthem, Your Excellency, we would wish, after the national anthem, we will wish to humbly request you for a photo opportunities with the county governors after this. Sote tusimame kwa wimbo wa taifa. Asante, tubaki tumesimama wakati Mheshimiwa Rais anaondoka kwa hiari yake.
Well, the 6th Devolution Conference is now officially opened with President Uhuru Kenyatta giving his keynote address that has focused on a number of issues, but most importantly where he has actually even congratulated counties for the efforts that they have made so far in trying to safeguard devolution 6 years on. But President Uhuru Kenyatta has given a caution to all and sundry, including the counties and everybody in the country when it comes to matters corruption, asking everybody to carry their own cross if they are if their name or even they are mentioned with regards to corruption, saying that even if it is him, he has actually tried to caution a few politicians who even go to funerals and they mention his name with regards to corruption. And President Uhuru Kenyatta says that this is not the right function. If you have anything against me or my family, if you say that we have been mentioned in any which way whatsoever, just go into Karura where the DCI headquarters are and say that I have evidence against President Uhuru Kenyatta, him or a member of his family, then I will be able to defend myself when these allegations are brought against me. But President Uhuru Kenyatta says that this game of witch hunt and trying to mention each other in either funerals or at weddings is not making any sense whatsoever. So it is time that everybody took responsibility of what they did and actually took care of it. Let it not be a blame game that this person is involved in corruption or this other person is not involved in corruption. Let it be a war that is targeted at truth and not at hearsay, just because you want to either bring in your community and suck it into everything that is happening with regards to corruption, but let it be a war that is meaningful. But also President Uhuru Kenyatta has reiterated his support for all the agencies that are tasked with fighting corruption. This is the DCI, this is the ESCC, this is the DPP, but also still calling on the judiciary to pull up its socks so that they can be on the same path with regards to this question of fighting corruption, so that everybody walks within the same realm. President Uhuru Kenyatta has also said that it is time that the counties were able to Well, President Uhuru Kenyatta has also said that it is time that counties were very keen on what is happening with regards to development. Let us not go outside the country to benchmark, but let us go to each county to benchmark on what is happening. Governors who spoke, including Governor Annual Devolution, who is the host governor, said that when it came to health services, he took 2 counties where he went to benchmark, and she went to Kitui and Makueni, and that is where she's going to launch her program with regards to what is happening with regards to health services, the provision of health services. So President Uhuru Kenyatta is also calling on some politicians who are calling on him to look for where they can get cheaper unga to actually go and benchmark in other counties so that they can take that knowledge to the counties in which they are. So it is a good thing that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done today with regards to what he said, and he is calling on everybody to be vigilant. But right now, that is just the opening ceremony, but we will be seeing discussions around so many things as we will be here from today all the way to Friday when this conference will be over. Right now, it is back to you in studio.
This is NTV.
Nini mbaya na huyu anaongea aje?
Huyu anaitwa Ogana, ni ndugu ya baba yetu. Ako na shida ya masikio. So lazima uongee na nguvu ndio asikie. Unasikia? Na lazima pia yeye aongee na nguvu ndio ajisikie.
Babe, I'm not sure I like having Joge around.
What? Why?
He has no boundaries and he's so disrespectful.
Obama ndo tiende. Nyinyi mtaenda kuamini Njoki. Na nikirudi nisisikie mumesumbua mtu yoyote hapa. Mnasikia? Yes sir.
Sijaijua yeye unakuwa kama makoro hivyo wewe.
Antipas.
Just dial *234# to join Fuliza. Now, when your balance is insufficient, you will get a prompt to Fuliza and instantly complete your transaction. Just select yes, enter your PIN, and voila! Transaction complete.